URORFG is getting rollback soon, so that means I'm going to be making more URORFG videos. No one gives a shit about this game except for me, and I don't give a shit about anything else right now, so here's the Bandit Items video. Also, this video is about Void Bandit specifically. None of that Storm Bandit stuff. Dude, get the fuck out of here, you're killing the vibe. To give you the gist of Bandit, he's a guy with not a whole lot of range outside of his 6B special and 6A normal. Once he gets in though, he can bully you with a heavy emphasis on strike throw mix-ups, namely after 4B. 3A can also be used for that purpose, but mashing will beat throw there, so it's way more risky. He can get a combo off his throw, though it is limited compared to his normal grounded bread and butter combo he'd get off of his main poke. So what would you want out of an item? Conversions, resets, better pressure? Well, it makes sense to go through the item starting from A and going to E, but instead we're going to start at item E and go to A. You'll see why. Item E is the Sommerain. 5C will give you a cross-up special that applies a bleed. You don't get any follow-up on hit, not even counter hit, and you're not even plus on hit outside of counter hit, where you're about +3. You can frame trap into this from a blocked 6A or 4A, though both of these are beaten out by a parry. So this item turns out to be pretty lackluster, but it gets some bonus points for having a really solid EX version. Instead of flipping behind you, he flings out a saw blade that boomerangs back towards him. This is great for combos and extending block strings, and it has a handy dandy little hitbox at the start near Bandit's feet that makes going into it out of other moves much easier. Overall, I'd say this is like a B tier item, hard carried by the EX version, though having a cross-up special isn't bad. Next is item D, the Charged Perforator. This one used to be my favorite, and then for a while I thought it was pretty bad, but now I'm starting to think it's pretty okay again. This is Bandit's only item with multiple versions outside of 5C and the EX version. 5C will have Bandit writhe a little and hold his head like he needs a Tylenol, and the little worm thingy will come out. This is functionally a projectile that hits a fixed position in front of Bandit, helping to mitigate his low range issue. It's especially nice since items are treated as specials, and you can use this to get rid of the massive lingering extended hurt box on Bandit's main poke, 6A. This becomes especially potent with the other variations of Perforator, 4C and 6C. 4C has less range but comes out much faster, and 6B goes farther but takes longer, so you functionally have built-in timing mix-ups. Doing 6A into 4C is an unparryable frame trap even. 4C even gives you pretty decent reward on hit in the corner. On a normal hit you can get 2A, and on counter hit you can even get 6A and go straight into your normal B&B. Perforator's EX version is a little more finicky than Sommerain's, but works just about the same. Bunch of hits on a sliding forward projectile locks him down, though it's much harder to use in combos compared to Sommerain. I'd give Perforator a like a B, also maybe right above Sommerain. Now for item C, Fireman's Boots. This one sucks. Bandit dashes forward with fire on his shoes and does the most pitiful launcher of all time, while also completely chewing through your juggle scaling. I'd say that this item is probably usable if using it wasn't basically just detrimental to your gameplay. You're infinitely better off just not using it at all. The nicest thing I can say about it is that, like, if you space your 6A a certain way, it can be used as a frame trap, but the reward on hit is still completely awful. It's safe on block, I guess. The EX is okay. Instead of dashing into them and launching, he'll cross them up first and then a storm of fire will hit them 3 times, so it makes for a decent mix-up option. The main problem with this is that the fire doesn't happen until he's already passed through them, so it'll always lose to parry. This one's getting a C tier for, I'll see about using it when it gets a rework. This'll never happen. Now for the actually good items. Item B is the Hunter's Harpoon. It's basically Scorpion's hook from Mortal Kombat. He'll fling out this big ass hook with a surprisingly active and somewhat disjointed hitbox. You can just chuck this out in neutral, it's pretty safe. On hit, it'll pull them in and leave them a set distance from Bandit, and Bandit will be roughly +6. This is really nice. This gives you a whole host of mix-up options. You can use 5A to beat out a mash or a parry. You can throw them, which you're so plus it beats out both parry, invincible DPs, and mashing. You can do 2A, which is fast enough to be unparryable as a frame trap in this situation, and if they block your 5A or 2A, vacuum them back in with 4B. Then you get to play the strike throw minigame again. In the corner, the distance they get set from Bandit is bugged out and they're further, and a lot of characters won't be hit by a 5A or 2A or throw from that range, but it's still so plush that you can 6B, which is fast enough to beat parry, moves Bandit closer to them, and leaves him +2 unblocked. It's incredibly good, especially since you can just use this to end combos. It's probably his best meterless combo ender. You get the freest resets ever, no knockdowns, no room to think. The EX is fairly solid too, being much faster than 5C but launching them towards Bandit instead, giving him extensions to his combos. This isn't really something he needs at all, since 236B will do the same job and also start scaling Desperado, but it's good to keep in mind, you know? Who says no to a 1-bar almost full screen beam? Hunter's Harpoon is definitely one of its S tier items, even after the nerfs to its range. Yeah, that's right, we're skipping A tier, it's that fucking good. Now last but not least, item A is the roll of pennies. Yup, 4 cents. Bandit will have 4 pennies that passively regenerate after being used. He just kinda flicks them up in the air, like a really sad version of Johnny Guilty Gear before he became destitute in Strive. Though they may look unimpressive, this item is actually really solid. The easiest use case is probably in using it for links during combos. The coin projectile has an incredible amount of hit stun, letting Bandit link into any of his grounded normals. Mainly you're using this for 6A since it has the most range and damage out of all of them. Bandit has a really easy loop he can do in the corner where he does 6A 5B 2A 5C, 6A 4B 2A 5C, 6A 5B 2A 5C, etc, etc. This is really good for him since 5B is the main source of his combo damage. Fitting that unscaled damage that scales with your Desperado stacks in as many times as you can is paramount to deleting health bars. Though combos aren't the only thing it's good for, it's also incredibly plus on block. Coin can true block string into 2A or 5A, or provide an unparryable frame trap into 6A, 3A, or 4A. This is harder to do on shorter characters though, since the coin goes up first and then comes down, so unless you're directly on top of them, the earliest active frames of coin can whiff. But even just using this similarly to Perforator, where you space a 6A on their block and then cancel into coin to get rid of your extended hurt box can be effective. This also has the added benefit of leaving the lingering coin hitbox where your hurt box used to be, which can be very funny. You just need to start throwing your spare change at people. This move has unlimited uses if you have the eyes to see them and the brain to imagine them. You need a lingering anti-air? Fuck it, coin! And it doesn't just stop there, the EX version of coin is incredible. A full screen beam that shares the dash trait of 5B, so you blast them and Bandit moves forward, making it incredibly easy to get combos off this. Not only that, this has ridiculous hit stun. Like I said, normal coin had a lot of hit stun, but this is another level. You have enough time to short hop at them and do an air normal and continue the combo. It combos into itself. The strongest aspect of this for me takes great use of a weird property of Bandit's ground throw. When you throw someone as Bandit, they're still in hit stun for just a little bit whenever they hit the ground. Typically you'd use this for like a 236B, but this wall bounces and launches them and your juggle scaling starts to apply. That sucks, but EX coin? You get your full bread and butter combo off of your throw now, and way more corner carry too. This is so incredibly good for Bandit because he does so much more damage with his normal B&B compared to combos off of throw. This is another easy S tier and the last of Bandit's items. These two just completely gap the rest of them. I honestly wish the other ones were better. I've wanted to make more URORFG videos like this for a while, but I figured no one knows what the hell this game is and wouldn't care. But like, this is my channel. Fuck you. Are you curious about any other URORFG character? Let me know down in the comments below. I have an approximate knowledge of every character and wouldn't mind making a video covering each one's items or whatever else. You should play URORFG. Rollback is soon.